The grizzly bear awakens from hibernation, ready to initiate the hunt. Each surge forward erupts like a seismic force, pushing every rival into a reactive position. A strike lands with the weight of a hammer, while its jaws lock in with overwhelming pressure. It is not just power, but a bold survival strategy in motion. When this apex force refuses to relent, which creature can hold its ground to the very end? Among the bear family, the grizzly stands as a powerful symbol of the North American wilderness. This animal possesses a massive, muscular build, along with 4-inch claws of formidable strength. Its thick coat not only provides optimal insulation, but also reinforces its unmistakable presence. Exceptional hunting instincts combined with remarkable endurance allow it to dominate across diverse terrain. As a top-tier predator, it plays a critical role in shaping the natural balance of its ecosystems. The grizzly bear moves quietly through the forest along the mountain edge, where every movement is tied to survival. With a body mass exceeding 600 pounds and the ability to reach short bursts of around 35 miles per hour, it is not built for prolonged pursuit, but for mastering decisive moments. Each hunt is not random, but shaped by terrain, season, and the condition of its target. In spring, after emerging from hibernation and needing to restore energy, the grizzly turns its focus toward young deer. Its exceptional sense of smell allows it to detect a target even when hidden within dense vegetation. It advances slowly, keeping the wind in its favor while steadily closing the distance. When the moment is right, a precise and controlled lunge is delivered, bringing the encounter to a swift conclusion. When facing more mature and alert targets, the strategy shifts immediately. Rather than pursuing head-on, the bear guides its target into uneven terrain where speed no longer offers an advantage. Fallen logs and steep slopes disrupt movement, forcing the deer to slow down. In that moment, the bear closes in and takes control of the space. Through this method of selection and approach, the grizzly not only hunts effectively, but also contributes to maintaining stability within natural populations. Moose are the largest members of the deer family, inhabiting the cold forests and wetlands of North America. An adult can weigh up to around 1,500 pounds, with broad antlers and powerful kicks. Despite being herbivores, they are highly dangerous and ready to stand their ground, especially when protecting territory or calves. When encountering a grizzly bear, it is no longer a simple hunt, but a test of strength and strategy. The grizzly uses terrain near lakes or riverbanks to guide its target into shallow water, where the moose struggles to maintain balance. In the slick conditions, the bear's muscular advantage comes into play, applying steady pressure. This is how it turns the environment into an ally in its effort to restore energy. In another situation, despite constant pressure, a mother moose remains determined as she leads her calf towards the water's edge, searching for a final chance of survival. In that tense moment, maternal instinct rises, turning her into a formidable defender. She is ready to turn back, using her massive body and strong hooves to form a protective barrier for her calf. However, the grizzly does not rush. It continues to close in, relying on endurance to wear down both mother and calf as any moment of vulnerability appears. This is a confrontation where persistence meets the strongest forms of protection and maternal instinct found in nature. Hidden among ancient pine forests, each dominant male grizzly governs a solitary realm spanning over 300 square miles. This is an uncompromising boundary, where access to food and the right to reproduce are shaped by intense survival pressure. In their world, the presence of another bear signals a direct challenge. When two individuals meet in an open stretch of forest, a test of resolve begins. With a natural bite force reaching up to 1,200 pounds per square inch, they possess the ability to determine the outcome, yet often rely on displays of dominance to reduce risk. Deep roars echo through the landscape, and each heavy step pressed into the ground becomes a language of authority. The outcome is often decided by confidence, size, and composure. The stronger individual asserts control through psychological pressure, prompting the rival to step back and withdraw. Territorial order is restored without the need for a destructive clash, reinforcing the winner's position. In lower valleys, ecological boundaries continue to be tested when grizzlies encounter the smaller black bear. Despite its disadvantage in size, a mother black bear may act with remarkable determination when protecting her young. However, when limits are clearly set, the black bear's decision to yield becomes part of nature's balance. In the world of bears, the boundaries of survival leave little room for compromise. In North America, wolves represent discipline and exceptional collective intelligence. A coordinated pack becomes a formidable force against any hoofed animal. Yet this natural order is challenged by the grizzly bear, a solitary powerhouse of unmatched physical strength. Encounters often unfold around animal remains, when a pack of around 10 wolves moves in to form a tightening formation. Younger wolves circle continuously, feigning advances from behind to distract the opponent and create an opening for the group to move in. This pressure triggers an immediate response as the grizzly lowers its center of gravity and delivers powerful swipes to break the formation. Recognizing that their coordinated approach cannot overcome the bear's physical dominance, the pack leader signals a retreat to preserve the group. The wolves gradually withdraw, leaving the solitary figure standing firm at the center of the scene. Here, nature allows no hesitation. This outcome reinforces the absolute presence of a dominant force on the path of survival. If the moose is the fortress of the wetlands, then the elk is a highly adaptable traveler of the North American mountains. A mature bull elk can weigh around 700 pounds and stand about 5 feet at the shoulder, capable of rapid bursts of speed across open terrain. For that reason, pursuing an elk is not a matter of raw weight, but a test of timing and movement strategy. The pursuit begins from miles away, as the grizzly uses its exceptional sense of smell to locate a target herd. Instead of exhausting itself in a direct chase, it creates sudden pressure to separate a slower individual from the group. It then skillfully guides the elk toward wet, rocky ground or shallow streams. On slick surfaces, the elk's hooves lose traction, forcing this agile animal into a draining struggle. In just about 15 minutes, a final decisive lunge is delivered. Although the grizzly's success rate in hunting elk is often below about 15%, the reward remains worth the energy invested. This source of protein can sustain it for nearly a week. To protect its catch, the grizzly skillfully covers it with soil and leaves. This method helps conceal the scent and reduces attention from opportunistic animals. This stands as clear evidence of the strategic mindset of a northern apex force. As summer arrives and rivers shift toward the open sea, millions of salmon begin their upstream journey to their spawning grounds. This becomes the largest seasonal feast, where grizzlies demonstrate their refined hunting strategies. At rushing rapids, adult bears take elevated positions and wait with patience. As salmon launch themselves against the current, the grizzly delivers a precise snap, capturing the target midair. In shallow waters, the grizzly applies a drive and herd strategy. It charges through rocky stretches, sending water splashing in every direction. Instinct takes over as it uses claws measuring about 4 inches to pin fish firmly against the streambed. That decisive motion transforms the summer river into a true arena of survival. This intense feeding period is essential, allowing the bear to build a fat layer of about 6 inches before the cold season arrives. It is a critical preparation for the harsh months of hibernation ahead. Throughout winter, deep within its den, it does not eat or drink, conserving energy while losing up to 40% of its body weight to endure. For female grizzlies, cubs are born during this challenging season under the protection of their mother. The first sunlight welcomes the unsteady steps of a new generation. They begin their journey to inherit the wilderness, guided by their earliest lessons in survival. On the savanna, African wild dogs control the hunt from beginning to end. They do not rely on bursts of speed, but maintain steady pressure until the target gives in. Other predators rarely withstand such a prolonged pace. Each stride is a precise calculation for survival. When the chase does not stop, who can endure to the very end? Along the forest edges of Africa, the leopard stands as a symbol of agility and control over space. Its powerful muscles allow it to haul prey weighing around 300 pounds up into branches more than 15 feet high to secure its catch. Yet encounters with wild dogs place this solitary hunter in a tense situation, where individual strength must face a tightly coordinated network. After completing a hunt on the ground, the leopard is soon approached by a pack of wild dogs forming a surrounding formation. They do not rush into direct contact, but move from multiple directions to maintain constant pressure. The overwhelming presence of numbers forces the big cat to abandon its catch and climb to safety. This moment reflects a clear loss of control for the leopard. In response, at another patch of grass, the leopard returns to what remains. It stays low and moves in close range, attempting to regain its earlier advantage. However, the pack reacts almost instantly. They regroup, tighten their formation, and control the space from multiple angles, forcing the leopard to withdraw again. Even highly adaptable solitary predators must adjust their approach. Survival here depends on the ability to respond to pressure coming from many directions. At the remaining waterholes of Africa's dry season, the Nile crocodile rules as one of the most formidable ambush predators. A large individual can reach about 15 feet in length, able to remain fully concealed beneath murky water without a ripple. With a bite force of around 3,700 pounds per square inch, this patient hunter waits for thirsty travelers to approach. After a long chase across sun-baked ground, a pack of wild dogs is forced toward the water's edge to rehydrate. Fatigue lowers their guard, as one individual moves closer on the muddy bank. The moment its head nears the surface, the still water suddenly erupts. A hidden presence surges upward with remarkable speed. The near miss immediately shifts the pack into a defensive response. Without panic, the wild dogs regroup, vocalize sharply, and rotate positions to apply pressure in return, allowing the exposed member to retreat. Sensing the loss of surprise, the crocodile quietly slips back beneath the surface. This encounter at the water's edge is a reminder that even a small misstep can carry serious risk. Yet strong coordination allows smaller predators to recover and avoid a disadvantage. African wild dogs are among the most efficient pack hunters on the savanna. Each individual weighs only around 80 pounds, yet the pack moves as a single, unified body. Their large, rounded ears allow them to pick up signals quickly through tall grass and hot winds. Their coats, patterned in black, gold, and white, give each individual a nearly unique identity. In this world, strength does not come from size, but from discipline, speed, and cohesion. Across the vast savannas, impalas push the limits of motion with powerful leaps, reaching up to about 30 feet. Their rapid, repeated changes in direction create a visual maze across the tall grass. Although African wild dogs feed on more than 10 different antelope species, impalas remain the most frequently targeted due to their high population density. When the pack identifies a target, they quickly establish a steady pursuit rhythm. The chase intensifies as the impala moves into thorny brush and suddenly shifts direction. The leading group spreads to the sides, allowing those behind to move forward and take position. The formation gradually tightens, limiting the available paths of escape. Under pressure, the impala launches into high leaps to clear obstacles, sometimes moving into shallow water in search of an opening. The wild dogs adjust instantly, accelerating and positioning themselves at the expected landing point. Coordination between flanking individuals and those in pursuit maintains constant pressure throughout the chase. Distance is controlled with precision at every stage of movement. The pursuit begins to settle as the impala can no longer maintain its initial rhythm. The advantage shifts to the group that sustains discipline and pace for longer. This is how wild dogs assert their place within the natural world. In the harsh landscapes of Africa, A pack of wild dogs needs a target large enough to sustain the entire group. This time, the focus is an adult warthog, weighing around 200 pounds. It is a formidable opponent, with sharp tusks and strong reactions when pressured. Yet to experienced hunters, it remains a matter of position and timing. The lead dog signals, and the pack immediately spreads out, tightening the formation in a silent pincer movement. They do not rush in directly, but widen their spacing to control movement paths. Some individuals stay behind, while others move along the flanks to block escape routes. This coordination forces the target to change direction repeatedly across uneven ground. The pace of the chase quickly intensifies. The warthog accelerates, sending dust into the air with each stride. Even so, the wild dogs maintain a steady speed near 30 miles per hour, drawing the target into a prolonged effort. As its energy begins to fade, the distance gradually closes. In the end, collective advantage proves decisive. The target can no longer maintain its pace, bringing the extended pursuit to a close across the savanna. This outcome reflects the discipline and coordination of the pack. The reward stands as a testament to persistence and unity in the wild. Beneath the skies of the Masai Mara, wildebeest move in great waves, forming a living wall across the grasslands. This migration is driven by the search for fresh grass and new water sources. With each individual weighing around 500 pounds, their dense formation creates a natural defense against many threats. Yet within this massive movement, a single animal falling out of rhythm can open a noticeable gap. The pursuit begins as more than 20 wild dogs quickly form up and maintain a steady chase across miles of savanna. Through clouds of dust that limit visibility, they communicate through body signals and constantly adjust positions. With highly efficient heart and lung function, along with strong heat management, the pack sustains consistent pressure throughout the run. They rotate the lead, conserve energy, and gradually reduce the target's advantage. As the wildebeest begins to lose speed, the rhythm of the pursuit shifts. The larger herd continues toward the horizon, while the encounter behind them quietly reaches its conclusion. In this demanding landscape, survival does not always belong to the strongest, but to the strategy resilient enough to turn an almost 80% success rate into a lasting advantage. Lions are often called the kings of the savanna, a symbol of strength and territorial control. An adult can weigh around 420 pounds, far exceeding the roughly 80 pounds of each African wild dog. Despite this clear difference, Both species compete directly for the same food sources within shared territory. This overlap creates constant survival pressure across the open plains. The rivalry sometimes appears in silent approaches toward den sites. When the adult wild dogs leave to hunt, a lion may move quietly into the area where the pups remain. Without any warning display, it makes a swift advance and then withdraws. That brief moment is enough to shift the state of the entire pack when they return. The situation changes when a lone lioness crosses the formation of the wild dogs. Instead of chaos, the pack quickly spreads out, constantly shifting positions to apply pressure from multiple angles. These movements force the opponent to keep turning to maintain distance. Recognizing the disadvantage against a coordinated group, the lioness lowers her body and retreats into dense brush. Even so, when a full-grown lion appears, the pack often yields its claim to avoid greater risk. Across the savanna, numbers can shape the situation, but they are never an absolute guarantee. This is how predators maintain balance within the natural order. From the frozen reaches of the north to vast open plains, the grizzly bear continues to hold its dominant position. Each hunt reflects the enduring principles that govern the natural world. Its authority is built on instinct, experience, and the ability to adapt. Within this ecosystem, every limit is tested through each encounter. If this content resonates, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.